Animals should definitely not wear clothing. Written by Judy Barrett and drawn by Ron Darrett. So this is just a silly little book about animal parts. But what you have to ask yourself, so it can go along with our unit, is, what does the animal use that part for? Movement, survival, or food? So the porcupine would ruin all of its clothes. But what does it use its quills for? Survival, protection, so that other animals don't want to eat it. Animals should definitely not wear clothing because it would be disastrous for a porcupine. Because a camel might wear it in the wrong places. Now, the camels do store fat and water in their humps. So, and that's a specific body part to them. Not all animals have a hump like that. So, the hump is really, I think, a cross between food and survival. He uses his mouth to eat, but his body stores it in a special way because he lives in such a harsh environment. Because a snake would lose it. Now, when you think of a snake's body parts, the whole body is thought of as movement when we think of a snake slithering. Because a mouse could get lost in it. And all you really see there are feet from movement. Because a sheep might find it terribly hot. Sheep already have a special kind of wool. Most of them are raised by people to produce the wool, so they definitely don't need another coat. And so their coat, theirs is really special and specific. It's not just to keep them warm. We raise the sheep to keep us warm, to use the hair on their body. We cut it off. We use the sheepskin to make clothing. Because it would be very messy for a pig. Well, this doesn't have to do with a body part. That's just the funny book. Pigs are messy. Pigs are known as messy. Well, I can't turn the page. Here we go. Because it might make life hard for a hen. How's she going to lay the egg? Well, now look at the kangaroo. It doesn't need to wear a bathrobe for a pocket because it already has a pocket for the baby. Because a kangaroo would find it quite unnecessary. So that's a special body part and to keep the baby safe. So that's for survival. So the baby can survive. Because a giraffe would look sort of silly. And it is silly. It's a funny book. But when you think of the giraffe's body part, that neck is very special. It's an adaptation. He's made that way so he can reach the leaves high up in the tree. So it's funny to say that he doesn't need a necktie, but he has a very special heart to pump the blood all the way up the neck, and the neck is so long so he can eat certain foods that other animals can't eat. Because a billy goat would eat it for lunch. You know, they say billy goats will eat anything. Would they chew on clothes? Would they actually eat it? I'm not sure. We should look that up. Because it would always be wet on a walrus. And look at these special body parts. A tusk must be some kind of a tooth. And so what is that used for? I don't think that's used for chewing. I think that's used for some kind of protection or fighting. So that would fall under, I think, survival. These body parts are definitely for moving in the water. Because a moose would never manage. Oh, and I see that's special too. those horns are used for protection in the wild. So that would come under survival. Because opossums might wear it upside down by mistake. And the opossums are really interesting. Their tail is like some monkeys. They can use it like a finger to grip. So that's an interesting animal part. I wonder if we could think up an invention that has to do with an opossum tail, because it helps him hang on to stuff. And most of all, because it might be very embarrassing. And here the elephant has on the same dress as the lady. And that's just a joke, because people don't like to go maybe to a fancy party and see somebody in the same dress. Okay, I hope you enjoyed the book, and I hope it made you think about the specific body parts of animals and what they're used for: survival, movement, or for eating. Thanks.